Why should I learn system design? Over the last 2 decades, there have been a lot of advancement in large scale back applications. These advancements have redefined the way we think about the software development. All the app and services that we use daily, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, scalable system, billion people worldwide access this system concurrently, so that we need designed to handle large amount of traffic and data. This is where system design come in. All a software developer, you will increasingly expect to understand system design concept and how to apply them in the early stage of your career. Learning system design will also allow you to tackle software design problem with more confidence and apply design principle to everyday work. As you progress through your career and begin interviewing for higher level position, system design will become a larger part of your interview process. So no matter what, system design matter for you. Because of the increasing importance, we want to create a source to help you navigate the world of system design, to guide detailed fundamental concept of system design, and also link to relevant resource to help again deeper understand the acquire real world hand on experience. What is system design? System design fundamental, system design pattern, database. What are distributed system failure, distributed system design pattern. Oh, what is system design? System design process of defining architecture, interface, and data for systems that satisfy specific requirements. System design meet the need of your business organization through coherent and efficient system. Once your business or organization determine it require, you can begin to build into a physical system design that address the need of your customer. The way you design your system will depend on whether you want to go a custom development, commercial solution, or combination of two. System design requires a systematic approach to building an engineering system. A good system design required think about in infrastructure from the hardware and software all the way from data and down to that and how to store. Learn more about the basic of the system design. System design fundamental, horizontal and vertical scaling. Scalability refer to application able to handle and withstand and increase workload without sacrificing latency. An application need to solid compounding power to scale well. The servers should be powerful enough to handle increased traffic load. There are two main ways to scale application: horizontal or vertical. Horizontal scaling or scaling out means adding hardware to existing hardware resource pool. It increases the compute power of system as whole. Vertical scaling or scaling means adding more power to your server. It increases the power of a hardware running the application. There are pros and cons of the both scaling. You come across in you need to consider trade off and decide which type of scaling is the best for your case. To dive deeper into scaling, check out the scalability module in our hand on this course. Web application and software architecture. You will learn about the benefit and scale of scaling, primary bottleneck, and that hard application scalability and more. Microservers or microarchitecture is artificial system style that architects an application using loosely coupled service. It divides a large application into a collection of separate modular service. These modules can be independently developed, deployed, and maintained. Microservers operate at a much faster and more reliable speed than traditional monolithic applications. Since the application is broken down to independent service, every service has an logic code base. Their service can be communicated with another through application programming interface. Microservices are ideal if you want to develop more scalable application. Which microservice it is much be easier to scale application because of the modern and modules. If you work with a large or growing organization, microservices are great for your team because they are easier to scale and customize over time. To learn more about microservice and their benefit, drawback, technologies takes or more, check out the microservice architecture tutorial. Proxy servers. A proxy server or forward proxy is a channel between a user and internet, a separate that end user from website that browsing. Proxy server are not forward request but also provide many benefits such as improved security, improved privacy, access to blocked resource, current control of internet usage of employee and children, cache data to speed up the request. Whenever you user send a request for an address from an end server, the traffic flow through a proxy server on its way address. When the ad back to the user, it flow back through a same proxy server which then server to mm, cap theorem. The cap theorem of a double theorem within the field of system design. It stated the distributed system can provide two of Two properties simultaneously: consistency, availability, and pattern tolerance. The theorem formalizes the trade-off between consistency and availability when they are pattern. Part in redundancy and replication. Redundancy is a process of duplicating critical component of a system with the intention of increasing a system reliability or overall performance. It usually comes in the form of backup of fail shape. Redundancy plays a critical role in removing single point of failure in a system that providing backup when needed. For example, if we have two instances of service running in a production and one of instances fail, the system can fail over to another one. Replication is a proper process of sharing information to ensure consistency between redundant resources. You can replicate software or hardware component to improve reliability, fault tolerance, or accessibility. Replication is used to manage database management system, typically within a primary replica relationship between original copies. The primary server receive all the update, and thus those update pass through the replica servers. Each replica server output a message when a successfully receive that will learn more about the redemption replication the application software architecture as a storage data is center of every system. When designing a system, we need to consider how we are going to store data. There are various storage techniques that can be implemented depending on the block storage block data storage technique, and data is broken down into blocks of equal size. Each individual block is given a unique identifier or easily scalability. These blocks are stored in physical storage as open on the adhering or fixed path. Blocks can be stored anywhere in the system, making more efficient use of the resources. File storage is a hierarchical storage methodology. When the method in the data is stored in a file, the files are stored in folders which are stored in a directory. This store method is only for a limited amount of the primary data. The section in the storage method can become hassle. Objective storage is designed to handle large amount of unstructured data. Object storage is a preferred data storage method for data achieving and for dynamic scalability. Objective storage isn't directly accessible to operating system. Communication happen through RESTful API at the application level. This type of storage provides immense flexibility and value of the system because backup, unstructured data, and long file are important to any system. If you're designing a system with a large data set, object storage would work well for your organization. Redundant disk array. A redundant array of inexpensive disk array is a technique to use multiple disks in a concert to build a faster, bigger, and more reliable disk system. Externally, a RAID hooks look like a disk. Internally, a complex tool consisting of multi-disk memory and one more process to manage. Our hardware RAID is similar to a computer system, but is spliced for task of managing a group. There are different type of RAIDs, all which are different functionality. When designing complex system, you want to implement RAID storage technique. Message queues. A message queue is a queue that route message from one source to destination or from sender to receiver. It follow the percent first policy. Message that is delivered first. Message queues facilities organize behavior. Behavior which allow modules how to communicate which with each other in the background without hindering primary tasks. They also facilitate cross-module communication and provide temporary storage for message until the processed and consumed by the consumer. Learn more about message queues in the application software article. Kafka. Apache Kafka is stored. Kafka is stored in the message system linked in what since growing above. The platform is capable of handling trillion of record per day. Kafka distributed system consists of servers and clients that communicate through TCP network protocol. The system allows you to read, write, restore, and process event. Kafka is primarily used for building data pipeline and implementing streaming solution. While Kafka is for messaging queues option, there are file system. File system is a process that manage how and where data is stored and manage internet operation of storage disk and explain how user or application can access it. System manage multiple operations such as smiling, name, storage, directories, folder access. Without file system, it would be hard to identify files, recover, retrieve files, and manage. Google file system. Google file system is a scale server distributed system designed for large data engine like Gmail, YouTube. If you build a handled batch processing large data set, GFS is designed for system to system interaction, user to interaction. It is scalable and fault tolerant. The architecture consists of GFS clusters which contain a single master and multiple chunk server that can be accessed for multiple clients. It's common to ask designer distribute file systems such as this. In a system design intro, to prepare for this intro design, click on the system design of head of system file system. Head of distributed file system is a distributed file system that handle large set of data and run commodity hardware. It built on a stored unstructured data at the mode. Simplified preserve. A lot of architecture design are inspired from GFG HDFC, built around the idea that most efficient processing pattern is write once and read one time pattern. It's common to ask designer distributed file storage systems such as HDFS in an interview to prepare for the design. Take out the system design pattern. Knowing system design picture pattern is very important because they can apply to this measuring system design pattern refer to common design pattern that and this only let all go the some commonly used pattern. Bloom filter are a probabilistic data structure designed to answer set member question. Is the element present in the set? Bloom filter is highly space efficient and do not store actual item. They determine whether an item does not exist in a set or if an item exists in a set. They can't do tell an item definitely present in a set. An empty Bloom filter is a with all weights set to 0. All the graphic below each shall represent a bit. The number below the bit is index and fit factor. Consistent hashing map data to physical nodes and ensure that only a small amount of set key move from servers to admin move. Consistent hashing store the data managed by distributed system in a ring. Each node in the ring is a range of data. The concept is important which within distributed system and work closely with data prioritizing and data replication. Consistent hashing also comes with the system design interview. QRM is a minimum number of servers in which distributed operation need to be performed successfully for declaring the operation overall success. Checksum when moving and data between component in a distributed system, it's possible that the data fetched from a node and arrive corrupted. The corruption occur fault in a network. When a system is storing data, it's compute and checksum of the data is stored in checksum. When a client retrieves data, it verifies that the data received from the server matches the store checksum. Merkle trees is a binary tree of hashes in which each internal node is hash of its true children and each leaf node is a hash of portion of original. Replicates contain lots of data. Splitting range of calculate checksum of the comparison not fill because there is no such data transfer. Merkle trees enable us to easily compare replicas of a range leader election leader. Election is the process of designing a single process organizer of the task distributed across it is algorithm that enable each node third network in a particular node of the task leader. Network node communicate with each other to determine which of them will be leader in election. Improve efficiency, simplify architecture. Operation database is relational database or SQL database are structured. They have a predefined scheme is just like phone books. They have a store number and address. SQL database store rows. These rows contain all the information available about the single query. Each column hold always separate data pointer. Popular MySQL or MySQL is an open source relational database management system that store data in a table and row. It uses SQL and uses SQL Join to simplify query and calculation. It following client server architecture and support multi-threading. Postgres is open source that employ SQL Postgres employ SQL whole schema need to be designed and configured at the time of creation. Postgres database uses foreign key which allow you to keep your data. Normal SQL join different type of database. I know that. MongoDB how to use a database is basic formation of software development there. And many different for when you're building project when choosing your database structure, it's important factor in the speed, reliability, and accuracy. We have a relational database that can guarantee reliability, and we have not relational data that can guarantee eventually. When closing your database structure, are important to get a comfortable with making decision based on unique depend upon it. Database schemes are structured design represents how data. That's for today. Meet you tomorrow.